Someone you haven't thought about in years just crossed your mind. A door you closed a long time ago is creaking open again. You're not imagining it. Tonight, a full moon rises in Capricorn, on a night the sky hasn't arranged this way in 12 years. Mercury turns back. Jupiter steps through a doorway it's been standing in for a year. And the moon rises to show you exactly what's been waiting in the dark. This is a homecoming. And by the time the moon sets, you'll know which chapter of your life is finally closing. Stay with me. Let's start with what's actually happening overhead. A full moon is an opposition. The moon on one side of the sky, the sun on the other, pulling against each other. This one sits at 8 degrees of Capricorn. The sun faces it from 8 degrees of Cancer. Cancer and Capricorn are the axis of belonging and achievement. Cancer is the home you come from, the private life, the inner room where you're soft. Capricorn is the mountain you climb, the public life, the version of you the world sees. And a full moon on this axis asks the oldest question there is. Have you been so busy climbing that you forgot what you were climbing for? That's the full moon by itself. But tonight, the full moon is not by itself. It rises into the busiest evening of the year. Here is the first thing. At the very same hour the moon grows full, two planets are standing together in a doorway. Mercury, the planet of the mind, of memory, of what we say and what we recall, stops in the sky and turns backward. Right beside it stands Jupiter, the great benefic, the planet of grace and growth. They are hand in hand in the last degrees of Cancer. Mercury turning backward is what people call Mercury retrograde. And the word retrograde makes everyone flinch. The lost messages, the missed trains, the texts you wish you could pull back out of the air. But that's not the deepest truth of it. Mercury retrograde in Cancer is a walk back through your own house. Cancer is the sign of memory, of family, of the kitchen table and the childhood bedroom. So the messenger turns around and walks you slowly back through rooms you stopped visiting, not to torment you, to let you collect something you left behind. This is why old names are surfacing, why someone from your past feels suddenly close again, why a memory you'd filed away is back at the front of your mind. The sky is doing this on purpose. Now the second thing, Jupiter is standing on the very last degree of Cancer, the 29th degree. Astrologers call it the anaretic degree, the degree of endings. It carries a now or never charge, the last, most concentrated breath of an entire season of your life. For almost a year, Jupiter has been in Cancer, expanding everything tender: home, family, healing, where you belong, who you came from. And tonight, it takes its final breath of that and steps through the door into Leo. Leo is the stage. Leo is the seen self, the heart on display, the courage to be witnessed. So watch what the sky is actually saying. The private year is becoming public. What you grew quietly in the dark at home is about to step into the light and be seen. And the full moon? The full moon is the witness. It rises over this exact doorway and floods it with light, so that everything crossing the threshold tonight can finally be seen clearly. And here's the detail almost no one will tell you. This full moon rises on a fixed star called Facies, a cluster of light that sits in the eye of the celestial archer. The old astrologers feared it. They called it a blur across the sight. But there's a deeper reading. Facies is the lens the archer looks through to aim. It's the haze in front of the eye that somehow is exactly what lets you focus. You can't see it with the naked eye. Only trained sight catches it. So the moon rising here is teaching one thing. The blur is not in your way. The blur is how you aim. There's pressure here too. I won't pretend there isn't. From the side, two planets in Aries press hard on this full moon. Saturn leans in and asks one cold question. Is it real? Is what you built actually solid, or have you been performing it? And Neptune leans in from the other side and blurs the glass, making things feel more certain or more confusing than they truly are. So this is the needle to thread. Saturn says don't fool yourself. Neptune says don't trust the fog. And Facies says the fog is the lens. Look through it, aim true. Trust the quiet knowing that arrives before the logic catches up. But don't force the decision tonight. Let it settle. And now the thread that ties all of this together. Jupiter takes 12 years to circle the entire sky, which means the last time Jupiter left Cancer for Leo, the last time Mercury turned back through these same waters in the same week was 12 years ago, 2014. Think back. 12 years ago, the world tilted from the private to the public. It was the moment the culture turned toward the performed self, the rise of putting your life on a stage for everyone to see. The same Cancer to Leo doorway, the same turn from inner to outer. The sky is running that cycle again, now, through you. So, here is the real question this full moon is asking you. What began for you around 2014? What did you start or lose or leave unfinished back then that is circling back now to be completed? Because this moon is the light that makes that loop visible. So what does all of this plant in us? A full moon is a culmination, a harvest, the moment something hidden comes to full light. And what's coming to light tonight is tender. For the better part of a year, you've been growing something in private, maybe a kind of healing, maybe a quiet strength, maybe a truer version of who you are. And the sky is telling you it's ready to be seen. That's exhilarating and it's terrifying. Both of those feelings are correct. The person resurfacing, the memory returning, the old chapter reopening. None of it is a step backward. Mercury retrograde is handing you the key to a room you couldn't finish before. You're not reliving the past. You're being given the chance to re-author it. Closing a loop doesn't mean going back to how it was. It means choosing the ending this time, the conversation you never had, the forgiveness you withheld, from them or from yourself, the dream you set down in 2014 because life got loud. Jupiter at the final degree of Cancer is holding a door open for exactly that, but only for a little while. That's the anaretic urgency, the now or never. This is a generous window, but it is a window. What wants to be healed, said, or finished? Reach for it now. Don't wait for the fog to clear completely. It won't, not yet. Because here is the gift of Facies, the lens in the archer's eye. You don't need perfect clarity to aim true. You need to trust the knowing that arrives before the proof. That quiet hit of certainty, underneath the noise. That's the arrow finding its mark. Saturn will make you prove it later. Tonight, just let yourself know it. And as Jupiter crosses into Leo, remember what's really being asked. Not that you abandon the private self you've nurtured, but that you let it be seen. The home you built in the dark becomes the light you offer others. What you healed in private becomes the thing someone else needs to witness to believe it's possible. That's the whole turn of this full moon. The private becomes the public. The wound becomes the wisdom. The flame you protected becomes the flame you pass on. So how do you find this in your own life? This full moon falls at 8 degrees of Capricorn, opposite 8 degrees of Cancer. Find where those 2 points land in your chart. That axis, wherever it sits, is the room being flooded with light tonight. And find the late degrees of Cancer, 26 to 29. That's where Mercury and Jupiter are standing in the doorway. That's the part of your life being walked back through and blessed and completed. If you have planets or angles in the early to middle degrees of the cardinal signs, Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra, you'll feel this most directly. It's personal for you right now. If you don't know your chart yet, this is the moment to learn it. The link to our free birth chart calculator is in the description. Cast your chart, find where 8 degrees of Capricorn falls, and you'll know exactly which room of your life this moon is lighting. This is how the sky stops being general and becomes yours. And this full moon is part of something larger. This Mercury retrograde in Cancer is the middle of 3 this year, all in water signs. Pisces in the spring, Cancer now, Scorpio still to come in October. Together, they form a great triangle in the sky, a year-long current of emotional return we haven't seen aligned like this in over a decade. This is the heart of it, the deepest one. Subscribe to our channel and stay close because we'll walk through every turn of this water trilogy together, right through to the Scorpio retrograde in October when the loop finally completes. You don't want to come into that one cold, so let the moon rise tonight and let it show you the door. The thing you grew in the dark was never meant to stay hidden. It was always meant to become a light, the kind that guides someone else home through the same waters you crossed. That's what a lighthouse is, not a thing that escaped the dark, a thing that learned to shine across it. Aim true, the way is already lit.